Originally released in Japan in 1987, the first installment of the Final Fantasy series was unveiled in North America in the summer of 1990. A remake of the original was released 13 years later on the PlayStation under the title of Final Fantasy Origins. Players assumed the role of the Warriors of Light, stepping out into the vast wilderness on a quest to restore radiance to the world's 4 darkened crystals. Audiences across the world were taken aback by Final Fantasy's deep, interactive story and gameplay. Along with naming their characters, players were allowed to assign them classes: Warrior, Monk, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage, and Red Mage were all available to choose from. While further along in the story, players were given the opportunity to attain advanced classes. Battles took place within a side view window displaying both monsters and party members. However, what truly set Final Fantasy apart from other role-playing games of the same era was the detailed battle animation. On-screen graphics would vary depending on what weapons a character equipped or what magic spells were cast. When crossing the expansive world, players were not restricted to traveling afoot. There were boats, canoes, and even an airship that unlocked the door to the skies, permitting travel to the far corners of the globe. After obtaining a boat, players could also access a hidden mini-game by entering a secret command. However, this was more than just a simple extra. If successfully completed, players would earn precious gil. Most players outside of Japan consider Final Fantasy II as a sequel to Final Fantasy. However, that was in fact the 4th game in the series. The actual Final Fantasy II, originally appearing on the family computer in Japan, would not see release in North America until Final Fantasy Origins in 2003. The story begins as Firion, Maria, Guy, and Leon flee the marauding Black Knights of the Palametian Empire. They soon meet a resistance struggling against the Empire's tyranny, and so set out on a quest to restore peace to the world. In a departure from role-playing game conventions, Final Fantasy II's battle system had no experience points and no levels. Instead, the game employed a unique use-based system. As characters used a specific class of weapons, such as swords, their skill with that type of weapon would improve. Of course, without character levels, attributes such as strength, hit points, and magic points needed a new method of advancement as well. The answer? Actions taken in battle determined the development of these attributes. For example, characters that used a large number of magic points to cast spells would see their available magic points increase as the game progressed. Final Fantasy II's innovations extended even to character interactions. During conversations, occasionally key words would appear. These could be memorized and then discussed with other characters to advance the story. This heightened the player's sense of involvement and represented a true revolution for its time. As players explore the world, they meet a wide array of characters, many of whom offer guidance or even join players in battle. These encounters provided some of Final Fantasy II's most dramatic and touching moments. One of these characters bears special mention: the now legendary Cid, who marks his first appearance in the series here as the pilot of an airship who's always ready to ferry the party across the globe. Though the world was vast, players had many choices when deciding how to get around. The canoe and boat made their return and were joined by a snowcraft to cross the icy fields of the north. The airship too made an encore appearance, but the list wouldn't be complete without what has become a hallmark of the series, the Chocobo. A game of many firsts, the Chocobo also made its debut in Final Fantasy II. Much more than an easy way to get from point A to point B, this lovable yellow bird has become the de facto mascot of the series. In 1994, Final Fantasy III was released in North America. However, this was actually the 6th installment in the series. The original Final Fantasy III only saw release in Japan in the spring of 1990. The main story of Final Fantasy III focused on 4 young friends from the tiny village of Ur. One day, the 4 are drawn to a mysterious cave housing an ancient altar. From that grotto, the companions obtain the power of the Wind Crystal and are bestowed an important quest to banish the darkness eating away at the world. Thus, their journey begins. One of the most exciting features in Final Fantasy III was the unique job system, which allowed players to adjust character professions to meet the varying challenges presented in the game's numerous dungeons and battlefields. At first, only a small number of jobs are offered. However, as the player unlocks the power of the crystals, more options become available. During the hero's adventures, they cross paths with numerous other travelers who join them on their journey. While these companions do not participate in battle, they do play important roles in the story and often assist the heroes by providing them with helpful advice. Several modes of transportation were available, from chocobos to sea ships and even submarines to explore the oceans. Players could also pilot airships, though they were quite different from those appearing in the first 2 games of the series. One ancient ship could navigate underwater, while another was a colossal vessel equipped with shops and even quarters for the heroes to rest. Cid made his appearance in this game near the beginning of the story. As payment for bringing him medicine to save his ailing wife, he modifies the hero's airship, allowing them to travel to previously unreachable locations. Final Fantasy III also marked the birth of summoning magic, a prominent feature in the series. The summoned beasts in this game could only be called forth by 2 specific jobs, evokers and summoners. Packs for the summoned beasts could be purchased in stores or obtained after defeating the powerful entities themselves.